up, Guru Gang? If you are new, welcome to my channel, and if you have been a part of the gang, thank you so much for coming back and clicking on today's video, you guys. Today I have my review of the Dolly Parton Front Porch collection. I mentioned these in a fragrance haul maybe a week or two ago, so I will link that fragrance haul up at the top. I basically just showed the fragrances and didn't really go into too much depth because I thought it would be fun to just do a cute little review of the entire collection. I have the 4 newest ones. I don't have the Scent From Above, which I believe was like the first one that she released, so I might possibly try that one at some point, but I do know you can pick these fragrances up from both Amazon as well as Walmart. I will have them all linked in the description box. They are very, very affordable. Without further ado, you guys, let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm actually gonna go in order from my least favorite to my most favorite. I find that all of these are pretty enjoyable, but I do prefer 2 way more than the other. So let's just start with the first 2. The first one we're gonna discuss is the Early Morning Breeze. This one comes in a blue box with Dolly's beautiful face on the front. And this is what all of the bottles look like. So all of the bottles have this really gorgeous butterfly top, and then all of the juices are basically slightly a little bit different in color, but all of the bottles are pretty much the same with Dolly's signature and the butterfly on the end, which I think is really, really cute, really girly, really feminine. This one literally only has 3 notes, at least on Fragrantica, it only has 3 notes. It has top notes of jasmine, middle notes of orange blossom, and base notes of sandalwood. And this one's definitely my least favorite, but it's not a bad fragrance. I wanna say, actually, when I wore this, I did get a compliment when I wore this to the gym. This, to me, it's definitely very white floral heavy. Like, I get that very soapy jasmine orange blossom combo. And then as it dries down, I do get a little bit of that sandalwood vibe, but it's not a super prominent sandalwood, I would say. A mix of floral and fresh laundry, if that makes sense. So this is definitely for someone who really enjoys jasmine and orange blossom, because that is what my nose is picking up on the most. But it did have a pretty nice scent bubble. Like, all of these, you guys, are eau de toilettes, and I will say they all had pretty amazing performance for them to be eau de toilettes at that. So I will say this one maybe gave me an hour to 2 hours tops before I felt like I needed to reapply it. But honestly, I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because this is one of those scents that probably would have given me a headache, because those white florals were definitely what I smelled the most. It has a little bit of an aquatic vibe, but for the most part, I really get this extremely soapy green jasmine throughout the duration of the fragrance. And this could be nice to layer with, but it's just not personally my favorite. It's not my personal favorite scent profile. If I wear a fragrance with jasmine in it, it has some sort of vanilla or something else in there to give it some layers, because I'm not really a fan of super prominent jasmine heavy fragrances. So while this one is nice, it's very feminine, it's very clean, it's a little aquatic, this just gives me like fresh out of the shower, soapy, cotton, fresh floral type of vibes. And this will be really good for the spring, but it's just not my personal favorite scent profile. It's still a pretty good scent. It's just not something that I see myself reaching for. So unfortunately, Early Morning Breeze is at the bottom for me, but I know this one does have some pretty amazing reviews. So if you're in the market for kind of a freshy that's a little bit floral, a little bit powdery, a little bit soapy, and that kind of vibe. So yeah. The next one is called Dancing Fireflies. This one I was very, very surprised by, because I was not expecting to like this one, judged off of the notes. So here's this one. Again, this one has a really pretty yellowy juice and the same little Dolly butterfly, which I think is so cute. This one, you guys, has notes of green apple, peony, and musk, I'm pretty sure. And y'all, I really have been enjoying this one. So for me, again, this one gives me probably very similar performance to the Early Morning Breeze. I would say this one gave me maybe 2 to 3 hours before I felt like I needed to apply, because this one is definitely on the cleaner, fresher side as well. But this one's a lot fruitier and a lot juicier. I'm definitely getting a very crisp green apple in the opening, and then a very sweet, girly peony. Like, this reminds me a lot of Floral Street's Wonderland Peony, except instead of that juicy guava cotton candy note, replacing that with kind of a super juicy, a little bit sour green apple, because that's the vibe that I'm getting in here, but it works. It's just very citrusy, very fresh, but also sweet and a little bit powdery as well. And I really like this one, you guys. Like, for some reason, y'all, this smells like, I'm not smelling pineapple specifically, and I don't know if my mind is just playing tricks on me because the juice is yellow, but this kind of gives me a pineapple-y vibe, like the way the sweetness from that peony and the kind of sour citrus note from the green apple come together, and then you have this really pretty musky dry down. It just kind of smells a little bit like how a pineapple would to me. That's just the kind of the vibe that I was getting. So I really enjoyed this one. This was my number 3 pick, and this is definitely a great reach for spring and summer. I didn't get to wear this one a whole lot, but I did wear this one a couple of times in the heat, and it did really, really well, and it just made me feel really pretty, really kind of dainty, like a little fairy princess kind of vibe. And I just thought it was a cute little easy reach scent. So, okay, y'all, my next favorite, honestly, number 2 and number 1 were pretty much neck and neck, but this next one, you guys, is Smoky Mountain. So here's the juice, kind of like a light purple lilac-y juice, and then here is the box for this one. And this one has a ton more notes in it compared to the others, but this one smells so good, you guys. I would say this one and my number 1 pick definitely lasted the longest on me. Like, they gave me a good 4 to 6 hours, and they had really great projection as well. Again, this is an EDT. It is, you know, a designer celebrity fragrance, so it's not gonna be blowing your socks off, but I thought it was really beautiful for what it was. This has a really, really juicy opening. I wanna say there's like peony, there's pear, there's some black currant, and then there's also mandarin orange, and I definitely get that. It's just super juicy, but then as it dries down, y'all, I'm almost kind of getting that lipstick powdery type of vibe that I really, really like. And I was not sure if I was going to like this one because of the name Smoky Mountain. I was like, I don't know if this is gonna smell smoky, but I think what's kind of giving it, I think the reason why she chose that name is because it kind of has this thick, powdery feel that she would imagine coming from smoke, but it's super, super sweet and smooth. As it dries down, you get this amber, you get the tonka bean, and you get the sandalwood and the musk in the base, and those base notes always just come together so beautifully for me, especially with a fruity fragrance. You do have some jasmine in the middle notes as well, but there's also vanilla orchid in here, which is adding to that sweetness. So that vanilla orchid and that tonka bean combo is definitely giving it kind of like this resinous kind of feel, I would say, but it's just super sweet. It almost kind of has a syrupy sweet kind of vibe, and then of course the sandalwood is giving it kind of a woody quality as well. But I really like this, you guys. And this one, surprisingly, this one at number 1 got me the most compliments, and it just smells the most perfumey. Like, this could definitely be something that would be sold at Sephora. Again, don't expect niche quality performance. I would definitely say it still performs like an eau de toilette, but I was pleasantly surprised at how well it performed as an eau de toilette. If you like those kind of fruit chuli type of scents, like think Mon Paris, but not as heavy on the patchouli. It just gives me this very sweet, woody fruit chuli, and it's very feminine, very flirty, very sexy. This is very much a fall winter fragrance, and I will for sure be wearing this a lot more as the weather starts to cool down. For my favorite, the one I'm literally in love with, and when I tell you guys what it smells like, if you are a Bath & Body Works fan, you are probably going to run to order this. So the final one in the collection, you guys, is Tennessee Sunset. And this one looks very similar to Smoky Mountain. So I'm gonna have to try my best to keep them as far away from each other as possible so I don't get them confused. But this one, you guys, is definitely the most gourmand of all 4, which I have no idea how that is, because this one only has 3 notes. It opens up with honeysuckle, and you have vanilla orchid, and then it dries down to just straight up musk. Like, that's literally all it says on Fragrantica. This is another very sweet, musky, powdery, fruity fragrance. I have no idea where that is coming from, because judging from those notes, you would not get that at all. But to me, you guys, this smells like a slightly fruity, sweeter version of Bath & Body Works Midnight Amber Glow. This just smells so good. Like, to me, this is giving me something marshmallowy. Like I'm smelling some sort of marshmallow dust, marshmallow powder. Like this literally smells as though you just opened up a bag of those jet puffed marshmallows, but just times 10. It's a lot sweeter, it's a lot thicker, it's a lot more dense, which I think is from the musk and the vanilla orchid. And I've noticed vanilla orchid is just one of those floral notes that reads a lot more gourmand and powdery. Every time I've smelled that in a fragrance, I really, really enjoy it. And that is no different in this one, you guys. And this one, again, performs amazingly well. This is the Eau de Toilette, but I want to say this one in Smoky Mountain also comes in an Eau de Parfum now, if you guys are interested. This one did amazingly well for this to be an EDT. And y'all, this just smells so good. Like I cannot wait to wear this fall and winter. This could easily be something. This reminds me a lot of like Milk by Commodity, but a softer, powderier, creamier version, just not as heavy on those kind of woody notes. If you guys have ever smelled that perfume, this just smells like, I definitely just sprayed it in my mouth. This just smells like a softer, more delicate, more feminine version. It absolutely gives me the same vibes as Bath & Body Works Midnight Amber Glow. If you guys have smelled that, it's not that coffee note, more of that sweet, fluffy, creamy vibe. And I absolutely love this. This also reminds me a lot of Victoria's Secret's Bare Vanilla Luxe. Like this, it just has this very sweet, fluffy marshmallow note that I love. And yeah, y'all, this one was a 10 out of 10 for me. This gave me a good 6 hours, which I did not mind reapplying anyway because it's an EDT and she's super affordable. So I was not expecting this to be blowing my socks off. But the scent profile, the performance, the compliments that I was getting, y'all, like this one was definitely the standout. But of course, this one and Smoky Mountain were my favorites. They definitely fall in line for fall and winter fragrances that I will be wearing. The other two definitely gave me more spring, summer. I didn't 100% love them. I honestly may go ahead and declutter the Early Morning Breeze because it's just a little too floral and soapy for my liking. But I do think I'm going to go ahead and keep the Dancing Fireflies. That one was really pretty, really girly, really feminine. All right, you guys, that is it for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want more reviews on entire collections, you guys let me know. I will try to incorporate more of those in my channel, but I really just wanted to get this up for you guys because these are some very affordable fragrances, and for them to be a celebrity designer type fragrances, they have a really, really amazing performance, and I think that you guys will really enjoy them if you guys vibe with the scent profile of the ones that I explained. But that is it for today's video, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.